Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Heikenberry in real life, and this is Frostmourne. Oh, that's hard to do. It's heavy. This sucker weighs 16 pounds. This, I brought it out here in the forest to, show it off. I was thinking about using it as a machete, but I didn't want to mess it up. So, but anyway, if you're a subscriber, you could win this. All you have to do is be a subscriber. And as you can see, it's pretty sharp. It sinks in pretty deep. So, anyway, the reason for this video is because I have a great question here from Jason, and it's about hacking and viruses and such. And basically, he says, if someone got a hold of your computer by a virus you downloaded by some software, and they completely destroy your computer with a rat. I don't know what a rat is, but he spells it with a capital R and a lowercase a and then a capital T. Or they access a lot of your personal files, like your bank account, PayPal, etc. Could you contact your local authorities and to possibly get the man who's responsible caught? You're thinking it's a man, huh? Well, maybe most of them are. Not all, though. So he said he saw my video about the FBI, about me calling the FBI, and he wondered, whether or not anything could really be done if they damaged your computer, or if they stole virtual items and stuff. And he wants to know if serious charges could be pressed. Well, let me just say that my experience previously with the FBI did not turn out to my liking. And it's not because they didn't want to go after the person. It is because that they have so much resources that they can expend on stuff like that. And then the dollar amount of how much I lost was, I estimated, between $2,000 and $2,500. And basically what happened was, back in the year 2000, I got one of my UO accounts hacked, and they stole all my stuff. They res-killed my characters, which basically, lowered the stats on all of them and everything. And back then there was no, going to the game publisher and saying, can I get a restore of my character and my stuff, because it was all hacked. Because back then the server, every character on it and all of your belongings was backed up with the server automatically, and you had to restore the entire server in order to rebuild a character and stuff, or to restore somebody. And so that did not happen back then. Anyway, when I went to the FBI, they basically were empathetic. I had to sit in their office for a couple of hours demanding to speak to an agent. The agent who had my case then saw me, and she said to me, look at this pile. There was a pile about this big on her desk. And she said, this is the pile, this is my caseload right here. And you know what, it was sitting right on her desk. Her desk was nice and clean, now that I think about it. And that was sitting right on the corner of her desk, and I bet you she brought it out for an example. And she says, this is my caseload. Each folder, which there was probably about 40 or 50 folders there. She said, these are all the cases that I'm working. And she said, up at the top here, $10 million case. Down at the bottom, I think it was $100,000, something like that. Maybe it was $10,000. I don't exactly remember. I mean, that has been 12 years ago now. And so, anyway, and she said, your case, $2,000. It didn't even make the pile. Not even the bottom of it. And she worked from the top down. If she got stuck on that big case, then she would start working on the next one. And, then if you see an easy win come along when you're working on the lower ones, well, you take that, of course. But the higher priority is the higher loss. And so, to answer your question, I don't think you're going to get any traction whatsoever working with law enforcement. And there is the IFCC, which does take reports. You can file reports of hacking, of computer misuse, of all kinds of stuff, and they will give you a case number. They will take it seriously, but the problem is that it is not, in our cases of video games at least, it is not enough of a loss for them to go after. And if they go to the video game company, like let's say your WoW account gets hacked, and you look up similar WoW accounts that are being sold on whatever sites, and you see that they're selling for about 500 bucks. So you tell them that it was worth about 500 bucks. And then if they go to Blizzard and say, Blizzard, this person says that they were hacked and they have about a $500 loss and everything, Blizzard's going to turn around and say, no, they don't have a $500 loss. There is no value to anything on that account. The only thing is their actual game account, which we will restore for them. Case over. You know, if Blizzard says it has no value and they are the creators of it, then it has no value. And it's really as simple as that. So basically, I think that you have to be smart, and that your only thing you can do on this is prevention. I don't think that you can do anything whatsoever to affect a case on this, and so basically you have to be 100% preventative, and that is how we react with like our game code sales. And so we do get taken every once in a while. I can tell you that if you steal from us, we will take the codes back. And that's even if you sold it to somebody else. I'm sorry, but you stole them. We're taking them back. And there's various methods that we use with various games to do that. Some of them we may nullify it with the game publisher and just take the loss so that you don't get anything. Some of them we may apply it to our own WoW account or whatever account. And some of them we can actually turn in for replacement. And in different cases, we even have the power to ban your account on our word. I know that sounds pretty scary, but when you work with as many publishers for as long as we have and have a good rapport with them, that if you steal from us, that's how we react. Now, that doesn't help us. We don't file police reports, not unless it's over a certain dollar amount. And even at that dollar amount, the only reason that we're reporting it is so that the bugs back here are thick. The reason that we report it is so that we can gain a history if we have somebody that's attempting to strike multiple times. And we do share with we share with the game publishers when there's fraud, and we share with other resellers. We share the information to try and triangulate where these thieves are hitting, and so that we can gather all the information, because together we can actually make a bigger case. And so if there is something there, we can do that. We did have one time when I was an Ultima Online broker, and we had our broker team. We had 7 or 8 of us, and then there were some other brokers that did some legit business that we did talk with as well, and they remained independent. They didn't want to be part of our group. And I remember one time that just our group members, we took a loss of $13,000 to one guy. And we pulled all of our information together, and we came together on it, and we put a stop to him. And we did it good. So I was really pleased with that. And so, you know, pulling the information together can work, but that is all after the fact. You have to 100%, you have to, you know, your game account is small fry. And so it's all about prevention. So some of the simplest things that you can do. Let me just tell you some of the things that I do and that I won't do. And you can use this as knowledge for maybe how you can do your own stuff, and it will help make you safer if some of these things are stuff that you've not thought of or heard of before. So basically, as far as getting hacked, I don't know how my Ultima Online hacking happened. The game account was unique, and it was a unique login name and password. And so that's the first thing. Unique logins and passwords on every account bank account, PayPal account, fan site, game account. You know, you just got to keep a list of all of these things. And if you would like the low-tech version of how to keep a password list, because I do have, somebody else wrote me talking about another thing which maybe I'll just bring up right now. He wrote me saying that his cousin hacked him, and his cousin got access to his password list that he had sitting on his computer, and basically wrote some stuff down and then hacked his game account multiple times. And they finally figured it out, but it took them a while. And cousin, by the way, is now banned from his home, which he should be. He was stealing from you. So basically, you have, if you want to write it all on pen and paper, or you want to write it all on your computer, and you're worried about your computer getting hacked and somebody getting that file, I have a really great solution for you. You know, if you don't want to use RoboForm or something like that, then use a keyed password list. And what I mean by that is it may be, you know, game name, login, password in your list right there. Except, you know, of course your game name is going to be whatever it is. Your password, the game is going to be whatever it is. The game name might be the same on multiple of them, but the password should be different on all of them. Now, if you have anything that's less than 8 characters, you have too few of characters. Most of my games that I do is 16 to 20 characters. Not all of them support 20 characters, but most of them support 16. And I have both uppercase, lowercase, numbers, sometimes symbols if they're allowed, and even if it's a Windows machine, you can put in spaces. Can't do it on Linux. So one of those characters on there will equal a key. The key will be something that is a couple of digits, a couple of numbers, a name, something like that. You know, like my cat's name is Iolo. So this is not a real world example. This is not what I use for my key, but I have a key because I do have some lists that are printed out. But my cat's name is Iolo, I-O-L-O. And so if I were to say every time the number 1 was used in my password, I replaced that 1 with Iolo. And then I just know that. All I have to remember is that one password key. So I have to remember the number 1 and then the word Iolo. And so that is my security. Nobody will figure that out. And if you have number 1 in there twice, then you put Iolo in the password twice. And make sure that it's not the only single digit that appears in all of your passwords. It should appear twice in some of them. The reason is because somebody who's smart, who's watched this video, might then go look at your password list and say, he uses the number 7 only once in every single password. So then they can say, maybe that's the key. Now, the key still is something that you keep in your head. But if they're going to try and brute force your passwords, then they could, you know, in their programming make that a wild card that's what changes constantly, because they have your list, but they know that they need to just change one character into whatever the word is. So that is one thing you can do for prevention. The other thing is that you make sure that you have a firewall, which most ISPs now provide you with one, to where you specifically have to open extra ports if you want to do something extra. But if you have a firewall, which like Cisco or Linksys, they're under $100. They make great ones that allow you to send traffic out and receive replies back, but anyone who makes a request of your computer without it having gone out first is blocked. They just receive nothingness. And then another thing is good antivirus software. And so I use Symantec. It's just what I like. There are a lot of them out there. Symantec is one that costs money. And there are some free ones out there which probably do a pretty good job. I am willing to pay a little bit more because I think Symantec is probably the leader in this. And I'm pretty anal about not getting any viruses and such. And Symantec also provides network protection, so it monitors my network connection, and if one of the other computers in the house got infected, then it could block the infection from hitting multiple computers. And then malware protection. Now you got to be careful. There's a lot of malware protection out there that is actually malware itself, which is really dumb. But they play themselves off as malware protection, but they are actually malware. So go find some good articles on stuff that's reputable. And then there is safe surfing. I don't click on bit.ly links. I don't click on any of these shortened URLs. Don't do it because it is not going to, the chances are it could take me someplace that's unsafe. If I do decide that I have to go someplace that might be unsafe, I do it in Google Chrome, and I have every option turned off, and basically I have it in a protected mode so that if there is something malicious on the site, it doesn't get me. And Google does a good job of identifying stuff that's malicious on sites and will actually put up a warning beforehand. You won't catch everything, but it's another tool in the toolbox. Let's see, what else do I do? Oh, damn, this is sharp. Even these little things here are sharp. Dang it, just got my pant leg. Now it has some threads out on it. So basically, then I don't accept attachments in email unless I requested them. And when someone sends me an attachment that I was not expecting, I then reply to them and I ask them specifically why they sent it to me and everything. Or I may call them, because if their email account has been hacked, then it may be a case that that the hacker has control and comes up with a really great reply, and then I trust it, and then I open it and I'm infected. I also don't open images, specifically GIFs. GIFs can execute things on your machine. There is just so much stuff that you can do to practice safe surfing and everything. The other thing is that you don't share thumb drives with friends. In fact, let me tell you something really incredible. So there is this virus that was identified recently. There was last week's episode of 60 Minutes. They talked about how the Iranian nuclear weapons facility was sabotaged by a virus. And so it was sabotaged by a virus that was contained on a thumb drive. And this thumb drive virus would go around hopping from thumb drive to thumb drive. It wasn't spread over the internet. And so it was in the wild for more than a year before it was discovered. And it wasn't discovered, this virus was something more than what you'll see on your average virus for your computers. But it was really, really sneaky. I mean, what if there was a World of Warcraft virus that only transmitted via thumb drives, and a lot of us share thumb drives, and so the virus protection companies don't see it for a long time. And all it does is, just capture your login and password and then pass it off to some website that they have set up. And, there's just no notice of it whatsoever. And that's what happened here with this thing. So their nuclear program, they were trying to make weapons-grade uranium. And they were doing it in these towers that spun, and it was like a centrifuge is what they were called. And basically this virus was written specifically to attack their nuclear arms program. My guess is that it was written by the US right here, or maybe by Israel. And so we're the two countries that have the biggest stance against them and their nuclear weapons stuff. So basically, what this virus did was it kept looking for a certain Siemens, which is the brand name, a controller box that was used for centrifuges in industrial manufacturing instances. And so basically it was some sort of controller that controlled the speed and monitored the speed of the centrifuge. And so this virus was designed to say, okay, if you are at this nuclear facility, this particular one, it kept looking because it infected a whole bunch of places, except it only really hit one. And it said, okay, if this is the right spot, then what I want you to do is I want you to start sending the information to these centrifuges via this controller box that says that everything is okay, but with it being okay, it actually was spinning them faster than the limitations of it. And so, and what it said it wanted to do them to a total of 1,000 of them. And so, anyway, that's my alarm. You know, when you place an order with markydragon.com, and there is an order come in, and I'm on shift, my phone goes off so that I can process your order right away. You'll find that our orders are done within 20 minutes. Okay, done with the advertisement. So, and after this video, I'm going to have to go in and process an order. But what they did was, they set them to go faster. And when they went faster, they broke down. And they had to replace 1,000 of these centrifuges. And there was some report that mentioned that they had this program, and it set their program back by a couple of years. And so this virus was very, very specific. But getting back to the whole thing of this all, it was discovered that it only went from thumb drive to thumb drive. And so, you know, something else could be done. It could be only burned CD to burned CD, or only in, you know, email attachment to email attachment, or only if you have Dropbox, or only if you have Google Drive, or, you know, all of these different scenarios, or even infect a video camera. Imagine that I could get a virus on my machine that would say, okay, this card you're inserting into the machine, it reads saying that you have this Canon camera, and that's our target. We want to destroy all of these Canon cameras, and we want to do it on a certain date so that it's, you know, further out so nobody notices. And so basically it executes whatever program at whatever time, and it's based off of that it traveled on my memory cards. And if I share them between cameras, and then if I loan out my camera to someone, or I borrow someone else's camera and I use my own memory cards, and it's just transferred that same way. So that is possible, and it's what an interesting story that was on 60 Minutes, which, by the way, you can go to 60minutes.com and you can look up their previous reports, and you can watch the entire reports online, which is really nice. So if you want to go see this report, it was about Iran's nuclear program sabotaged by a virus. And I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the virus. It was like Syntex or something like that. But it was very, very interesting, and really has to do with cyber warfare more than you protecting your own machine. Anyway, I hope those things help. You know, there'll still be new and innovative ways that people go to infect your machines. In fact, I just did a video, golly, just yesterday, where I talked about the fact that I got an email that was official from Sony that looked like a fish, and it took me quite a long time to figure out that it was real. And so I did a video on it because it was so dumb. That marketing agency needs to not look like a fish. So anyway, I hope that helps. Anyway, I'm Marky Dragon. Take care, and don't forget to subscribe, because one of your subscribers is going to win Frostmourne here, and we got a lot of other great prizes that we're giving away as well. And in fact, next drawing will be coming up soon. We got 10 prizes for subscribers, and it all you have to do is be a subscriber to win and accept messages from us. So if you don't accept messages from us, then you need to, if you don't accept messages in general on YouTube, then just add us to your contact list, Marky Dragon, and our message will get through to you. Take care, everybody.